This is important to me, and I've never done this before, and I appreciate the opportunity to participate. Something I did leave out, I think the last question from another representative was the other two commissioners in our county joined me in our opposition to this bill. We're not in favor of selling out our landowners' rights for short-term gain.
So you are in favor of the bill, not against the bill?
That is true. Did I misspeak?
You misspoke.
I'm sorry. We're very much in opposition to the Grain Belt Express, but in favor of Representative Hanson's bill to protect us from that. I also have receipt of a letter from my counterpart in Randolph County, Presiding Commissioner John Truesdale, who expresses his support for Representative Hanson's bill and opposes grain line. Basically, if you look at places like south of Chicago where these power lines go through, none of them are as big as this one is proposed. I don't think anybody appreciates how large this thing is going to be. There's none other this large in our nation. And once it goes through, the alleyway is probably not good for much else besides the transportation of power. I don't know if somebody had a nuclear waste storage facility, if these people that are in favor of economic development would sign their counties up for it.
Gentlemen, are you saying that you cannot grow things below those lines?
I was talking about homes and businesses.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you used the statement of it's not worth anything.
It's not worth anything as far as homes, businesses. Yes, we could grow things. I think there is some height restrictions on what we can produce underneath the power lines. But yes, we could grow grass, corn, maybe soybeans for sure, wheat. We are limited in the type of equipment, irrigation equipment and GPS and things of that nature that would be at our disposals to produce. I have been in contact with the Grain Belt people, and they keep telling me how much money this is going to mean to my county. If you get an opportunity, you might ask them how much we're going to receive in the second, third, fourth, or fifth years, because I've yet to have that question answered. It's always the first year. It's hard to make a long-range plan if you can't have a revenue stream of over 1 year. We also lost my train of thought, but it's the drop-off station in Ross County for the 200,000 homes. I just want to make that clear. We don't have that kind of people living in our county. And if they were really going to build something and were interested in constructing this, I think they would have blueprints available. And I don't think the Public Service Commission even received blueprints in their application. So with all that being said, thank you for your time, and if you got any questions.
Are there any questions? Representative Redmond, please proceed.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
So you made a comment that they told you how much they were going to pay you the first year in property tax, but you don't think that would be a consistent number?
I specifically asked him how about a second or third. At that time I was a candidate, and I said we need to make a plan for the future. And they said they were unable to tell me at that time.
Okay. Because I just assumed that once you had a property tax on it, it stayed kind of constant. And then the other question I had was, there was going to be a substation, but there's not now, or there is?
Well, they've always promised us a substation.
Okay.
But I really, if they were interested in it, they would actually, if they wanted to sell power to Missouri, why wouldn't they send it to Kansas City? Why would they bypass Kansas City and do it in the center of Missouri with 642 people?
Okay, well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
There are questions? Representative Corley, proceed.
Thank you, Commissioner, for being here. Were there public hearings held in your county for this proposal?
Yes, there was.
And how many were there?
There was one for Rawls County, but I don't think it was located in They had it in Marion County in Hannibal.
And did you participate in those hearings?
Yes, we did.
Have you participated at all in front of the PSC?
That's the public hearing, the Public Service Commission hearing in Hannibal, Missouri. They had one for each affected county, but they had Rawls counties in Marion County.
And do you know what the progress of the PSC hearings, where that stands?
Right now, I think they had unprecedented, the Public Service Commission heard the hearing, they neither denied nor approved. And it's my understanding it's the first time in their history that they put it on hold, sent the application back to the applicant and told them this is the things they would like for them to see to submit additionally. The staff recommended no and told them to deny it with a eminent domain.
Any other questions?
And those are still proceeding?
They said they had to have a update report by the April 11th back to the Public Service Commission.
And is it your understanding that if we were to pass the bill before us, would it have any impact upon the current proceeding before the PSC?
It's my understanding that it would go into effect sometime, this bill would go into effect sometime in August, and whether or not the Public Service Commission had made a determination, it would not be retroactive if they approved it between now and when this bill went into effect.
And are you familiar with the have you been involved in other PSC proceedings?
No,
prior
sir.
to this? No further questions.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any other? Representative Redmond.
I'm sorry, just to inquire, is the PSC, if they give any kind of a date as to when they're gonna rule on this?
They wanted the update status report on this additional information on the 11th of April, but other than that, I do not know.
Representative.
I can help out. The PSC is given a long list to Greenbelt on questions to be answered. And once those questions come back, then the opposition has a chance to go in front of the PSC and rebut or present their side of the questions that they receive. So it could, to exact time frame, I don't know, but there's gonna be rebuttal time, but they had a pretty long list of questions to answer.
We're not looking in the next month or two for the PSC to rule on this?
My guess would be no.
And do we have a construction? I guess they have to wait till the PSC rules. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
Just to comment, that, this bill protects us from future endeavors from this point. Great Britain, China, any of those people can come in with a pile of money, and we'd have to go through this again. Just the members in the Eastern Missouri Landowners Association, which is a subset of Russ's group, we raised over $65,000 to pay lawyers and expert witnesses in Monroe and Rawls County. That's a lot of money to us. Not so much from somebody from Texas that pumps oil and that type of thing. But we can't really afford the times away from our jobs, their testimonies, all of that stuff over and over again, because if the PSC denies this, there's nothing to keep them from going back and reapplying. We're back to square one. They can do it constantly.
Thank you for your testimony. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, because I know that there are a lot of people that still want to testify for this bill, and I know that there are people that want to testify against